Oh. Welcome back to my channel. It is time for part 2 of patterns I found in the depths of a Ravelry. I am a little blind right now. I have excellent vision, but I had to go to the eye doctor for them to tell me that, and they did dilate my eyes, and it is everything's a little bit bright and a little bit blurry. But we got this. Let's just get into the video because I have a fuck ton of patterns. I have a bunch. I have a lot of patterns to share that I have found over the last year. So a couple of them are recent releases, but a lot of them are older pattern releases that have been on Ravelry for a while. The first video was all about accessories and miscellaneous objects that I found patterns for on Ravelry. You can definitely watch this video first and then go watch that one because this is just more patterns. In this video, I'm gonna do all garments. I don't have any bottoms, it's just tops. So I have sweaters and then tank tops and vests. And just a couple of each, you know, don't wanna overwhelm, although I do have quite a few. So I'm gonna start with tank tops and vests. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna do any of these or if you want me to do any of them because I probably will. Everything is so bright. Okay, let's go. I'm starting off with, all of these patterns will be linked in the descriptions below in the order that I mentioned them in the video, so it's clear and easy for you to find them. Starting with tank tops, I found 3 tank tops. Look at my fingers. I found 3 tank top patterns on Ravelry that I think are sick. They're so sick, I might make all of these. I want to make all of these, and I just might. I bought the needles for the first one. Okay, let me just get into it. 2 of the tanks are by the same designer. The designer is called My Favorite Things on Ravelry as well as Instagram. The first pattern is called Camisole Number 5. I'm not really sure what it's called when it's on the front, but when this style's on the back, it's called Racerback, but it just kind of is like a slim fit tank, and it's knitted in rib, and it has these beautiful decreases for the arm's eye. This is knitted with size 2.5 needles, so that's pretty small. I usually don't do things that are in like tiny ass needle size because you know, I'll just get bored and stop, but I did buy the needles for this pattern so I can make this top because it's so beautiful. It is done with light fingering yarn, so very small gauge. This pattern it's about $5. I just think this is a really beautiful top. It kind of gives me Helmut Lang vibes or like Rick Owens, depending on the color that you made it in, of course. It could be such like a high fashion looking top, and I think that's why I'm so drawn to it. So I'm definitely gonna make this. Subscribe if you want to see me make it because I'm gonna make it, okay? I already bought the needles. It's happening. Moving on. The next pattern that's by her, another tank. This is Camisole Number 2. Maybe I should have mentioned number 2 before number 5, but whatever. This is Camisole Number 2. This is also done with light fingering yarn and size 2.5 needles, so I have no excuses not to knit this one too since I already have the needles. This one also just has really beautiful decreases. I love that they come out from the bust and go down. I aspire to one day be a whiz with decreases and increases because I'm still new to them, to like the art of them, but I think it's so beautiful when people use them to like accent different parts of the body, you know, like little trails of decreases and increases. So beautiful. I don't know, it's just like it looks easy and like it should make sense and just go with the body or go with the flow of the garment, but that shit is confusing. So when I see it, I'm like, wow, this person knows what they're doing, and I aspire to be like that person because this shit is beautiful. Yeah. So it's a little bit less than the other one. It's like $4.50 US. And then the last tank top is another beautiful tank top. They're all... In the last video I said amazing a lot, now I'm already saying beautiful a lot. But I'm gonna try to mix up my vocabulary because repetition is not fun. This top is by Perennial Larson. It's called a Yoko top, and I actually had this in my favorites for like a year, I think, or for a while. And it wasn't available in English, and then when I went through all my pattern, or when I went through all the patterns to make this video, I saw that it's in English now, so I'm definitely gonna make this. It's also knitted on size 2.5 needles with fingering weight yarn. This top is beautiful. Fuck, I said it again. This top is This top is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. With the wrap and the decreases and the increases, this is smart design. I love this. All right, those are the tank tops. Let's move on to the vest. I have 3 vests. Let's start with the fluffy ones. The first one is called the Saga Vest. It's by Me Fearing. It's lace plus lace plus lace. So it's Irene? I always say that wrong. Irene? I don't know. It's knit on size 7mm needles, which is like in between a 10.5 and an 11 in US. I don't think there is like actually a US needle size that is equivalent to 7mm. Just Google it. This is just a really simple vest. It looks like it's primarily done in stockinette, and either you roll the side or maybe it rolls naturally somehow based on how you knit it. And then it has a rib neck. I love the images they have with the 3 colored vests together. It definitely makes me want to knit 3 in 3 different beautiful colors, but it's just because I'm a sucker for a good color range. This is about $8.50 US. Easy, gorgeous. Oh my god, now I'm saying gorgeous a lot. I need a dictionary next to me. We love a fuzzy vest for fall. Fuzzy for fall. The next one is called the Fluffy Crop Top. This is by Leah Like. This is lace plus lace equals sport. I love it. I love the yarn math. And it's knitted on size 7 needles, so that's like a happy medium needle size. Seven's a safe needle size. Not too small, not too big. This is similar to the other one, but it's more like a top than a vest because it doesn't have ribbing at the neck or the arm side. Definitely has more top vibes than vest, but I'm keeping it in the vest category. Since it's 2 strands of lace, this is a good top for like color mixing, color play. I love the Hedgehog Fibers rainbow yarn. That's a beautiful yarn to mix with like a solid to get like a cool rainbow gradient kind of thing. I would definitely recommend, like, if you're gonna try one of these patterns and they want you to use 2 different kinds of yarn to get the proper yarn to use for the pattern, to try mixing up colors and just see what you get. I think it's so fun to do that, and sometimes you end up with like synonyms for beautiful. Nice looking. Sometimes you get nice looking color combinations. And then the last vest is a little different than the other ones. This one is actually, this is by Lone Keldson. Definitely, I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but it'll be linked down below. I'm sorry for mispronouncing anything. This is the Trifle Vest. This just looks like a great, like, kind of grandpa-esque vest. It kind of gives off like hidden gem that you'd find in the thrift store vibes, but now you can make it yourself. And I think it's in like a waffle pattern, which is dope. This is lace and light fingering, so another good opportunity to mix yarns for cool color combinations. And it's knitted on size 6, I'm assuming, for the body, and size 4 for the ribs. This pattern is about $7 US. And I love how they layered it over a button-down shirt in all the pictures, so you really get like a feel for what you're getting. Like, it looks like it's slightly oversized and long, which I love. That's it for the vests. Now we're getting into sweater territory, and I have a ton of sweaters, so get out your notebook and write this shit down. I have organized these based on categories that make sense to me. 2 of them are valid categories. The other 2 are just kind of like a bunch of sweaters that I felt like didn't go together, but I needed them to go together. So I'm starting with the Colorwork category. The first one is called Papa, and it's by Junko Okamoto. This has beautiful colorwork across the chest. Based on how the colorwork is going across the body, I wonder if you knit it top down, but that's just a guess. I don't know. I haven't purchased the pattern. This is about $8.50 US. It's knitted on 3 different needle sizes, 3, 4, and 5. It just says DK weight yarn. And I think the images that they've designed going across the body are really simple, not too specific, whereas like it's almost abstract. Like, I think it's a floral pattern. Instead of me just saying random shit like I usually do, there's a little blurb on this pattern. It says, this sweater has a very big silhouette like a Papa sweater. Okay, so it's like oversized, and color work like a graffiti of small children. I love that. That's way better than like possibly flowers. If you're in the Bay Area, they actually at one point sold a kit at a Verb for Keeping Warm that had the yarn and the pattern for this. It was a little bit on the pricier side just because I think the yarn is expensive. But if you wanted to buy like this in a full kit version, they probably have it on their website too. I'll do some research for you and put it down below if they do have that, because I love that store. That's that. The next one is everyone's favorite sweater, the J.W. Anderson sweater that we all knit last summer. This is on Ravelry for free. It's a fun sweater to make. It's actually a great sweater for beginners. You knit a bunch of different squares and they're all in different stitches. So you can learn like 5 different stitches from knitting this sweater, and then you also do like 2x2 rib. So it is actually a really good beginner project to just get familiar with different stitches in knitting, and then you seam it all together so you're not doing anything in the round, which can be complicated when you're first starting out. They have you do it on size 6, 9, and 11 in super bulky weight yarn. When I did this, I think I did the entire body on size 11, and I did 2 balls of Irene weight yarn held together to make this super bulky thickness of the yarn. I think I just did size 8 for all the ribbing, so I went a little rogue, but the pattern that this comes with is pretty easy to follow. If you have any questions, I did knit this, so feel free to ask them in the comments below and I can try to give you any advice. But yeah, this one was really fun to make. Next, this pattern is called the Zigzag Jumper. It's by Mrs. Moon. It's cute. Now I'm trying to think of more adjectives. It's nice. I still have my list of synonyms open. This pattern is almost $10 US. This is knit with super bulky weight yarn, size 19 needles. That's chunky. That is a chunky sweater. This one uses a bunch of different colors. It looks like you need 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors for this sweater, but it's pretty sick layout. I mean, that makes total sense. There's 3 zigzags and a base color. Not only blind, I'm not able to read clearly. Next, I have 2 patterns from the same Ravelry store. The store is called Boyland Knitworks, and it's by Caitlin Hunter. These are both what I'm assuming are knit top-down sweaters. I'm not sure. I haven't purchased the patterns, but they kind of look like that. And they both have Fair Isle across the body. So the first one is called the Sturgill Sweater. This one is knit with DK yarn, size 4 and size 6. It's $8, and you need 4 colors. Oh, and it looks like there are options, so you can make a cowl or you can make a crew in this. And I just really liked the Fair Isle pattern. I like how big it is, or how long it is. It's not too high, and I like that it's on the sleeves too. Oh, well, that makes sense because you're knitting it top down. Okay, the next one by the same person, Caitlin Hunter. This is called Stagecoach. It looks like just a shorter version, like maybe it's cropped. It's also knit with 4 colors. I like that it had the pattern at the bottom of the sweater too, but I think I also just really liked the color combination that they did in the photos on the page. I'm a sucker for a good color combination. That one's $8, knitted on size 4 and 6, also with DK yarn. The last one is by Noriko Ichikawa. It's called Fuyuhi. This pattern is about $6 US. It's DK plus DK equals bulky yarn, knitted on size 10 and size 9. And this one, I love that the Fair Isle pattern goes all the way down the sweater. I think that's pretty sick. I love this picture of the brown one on the Ravelry page. I think it's maybe it's just the contrast of like the base color with the Fair Isle color. I love how it popped. And then someone did this epic one that's like brown at the bottom and like tan at the top. Very cool. I definitely want to make one of these this winter because I didn't make any Fair Isle stuff last year. Okay, that's it for Colorwork. Moving on. This group of sweaters is a little bit more random. This I'm calling my cozy sweater collection of patterns. Maybe that's a little silly because most sweaters are cozy, but whatever. Starting off with the Cozy Hoodie by Clarissa Shalom. I'm not sure. This is knitted with This is knit with sport weight yarn, knitted on size 8 and 6. The pattern is like 850-ish US, and I just love that it's a hoodie. It also has beautiful decreases. We love a good decrease, or maybe it's an increase, because I wonder if you knit this top down. This video is actually me just like figuring out what these patterns are as I look at them. It also has these epic decreases at the sleeve. What? Those are beautiful. I know I keep saying decreases, they could also be increases, but who knows? This is just pretty. Next, the next one is by My Favorite Things Knitwear, as previously mentioned when we were discussing the tank tops. This is called Sweater Number 8, and this reminds me of an Acne sweater that I saw once. It had the same like seam down the side and then the rib pattern. And I remember finding this pattern and I was like, oh my god, I can make my own Acne sweater. Everything this person does, everything my favorite things knitwear does is beautiful. This sweater is like $5-ish US. It's knitted on size 6 needles, so that's not too small. And it's light fingering plus lace yarn to make fingering weight yarn. Easy peasy. No sewing needed. I love that. That means it's totally seamless. And you know what no sewing needed means? Less ends to weave, usually. Next is the Fridge sweater. I've made this one. This is by Tara Lynn Morrison, published in Goodnight Day, which is also her Instagram handle, I believe. This is a super bulky sweater, and it's knitted top down, so it's another like seamless sweater. It's done with size 11, 17, and 19 needles, so all pretty chunky. When I knitted this, I did it in about just a few days. I'll put a picture of the one I made. I did buy another pattern from this creator that I didn't knit, but I did start, and the patterns are really easy to follow. Yeah, they're super easy to follow. I definitely recommend those for like a beginning knitting pattern that looks really like challenging. And it's a great pattern to start with for trying top-down knitting, which is amazing. I love knitting top-down. It's so good. This pattern is $6.50 US. Okay, next. Another pattern by Junko Okamoto. This is called the Mara sweater. It's about $8.50 US. It's knit on size 2.5, 3, and 4 needles in fingering weight yarn. And this technically could have been in the Colorwork category because it has 3 colors in it, but I felt like it fit better into the cozy category. This just looks like another really cute, cozy, oversized sweater, and I love the stripe at the going across the top and then the color blocking down at the bottom. I just love like the slouchy fit. It looks like one of those sweaters that, at least for me, that I would like make and then wear all the time and like probably end up sleeping it or something like that. The next one is by Petite Knit. Petite Knit is another, like, I put her in the same category as my favorite things in knitwear. They both make like beautiful, thoughtful, like designs. They have a similar vibe, like I don't know. Check them out on Instagram. Maybe you'll get what I'm trying to say. This is the zipper sweater. So it's a half zip sweater, but with Raglan seams, and I'm assuming you knit this top down, but again, I'm not sure. It's worsted weight plus lace, so another opportunity to mix colors. It's like almost $8 US. Knitted on size 6, 7, and 8 needles. It would probably take me a while to knit this. Okay, the next one is called the Nelle sweater by Gregoria Fibers. And this looks super cozy and comfy and fuzzy, and it's knit in lace yarn. So it definitely is fuzzy. Here, I have some lace yarn right in front of me. I can show you. Fuzzy. Shit is fuzzy. Here, I have another one. See how fuzzy? This is knit on size 8 needles. Not bad. And it has raglan seams. I'm always impressed by raglan seams for some reason. They call out the level on this, so it says intermediate. So you got this. You could totally do it. When I first started knitting, I went from beginner all the way up to like advanced, and I just like would see if I could do it. And usually it worked out fine. So you got this. That's all you need to know. It's beautiful, it's fuzzy, it has like a mock neck, and it'll probably keep you warm all winter. Next, this one is cool. This is by Shiny Superhero. It's called the Diana Prince sweater, and it has this amazing tie at the front, and then I guess you use different yarn weight and you end up with these cool like circles. This is about $5 US, amazing price. Knitted with bulky yarn and maybe at some point knitted with lace, I'm not sure. And it's knitted on size 10 and size 11 needles, so pretty big. I love the like cord, it's so cool. This person has a lot of other really cool patterns too. Lots of like color blocking, circles. They have this cool sweater with like a grid. It's kind of window pane. Also lots of accessories in their shop. And then the last one in my fuzzy, cozy, I forget whatever category this is another Petite Knit sweater. This is called the Wednesday sweater, and I really wanted to make this last winter, and of course I ran out of time in my head to like knit this. I don't know what I was doing instead. It's worsted weight yarn and lace. I saw somebody knitting this on Instagram last year, and they did the rainbow lace with like a white or pink base. I think that's exactly what the creator of this pattern did in this picture, and it looks amazing. It's like a confetti sweater, like funfetti. It's like a funfetti sweater, and That's exactly what I want. I also wouldn't mind a piece of funfetti cake right now. This is knit with size 8 needles. The pattern is $7.41 USD. That's it for this category. 2 more categories to go. I found a ton of stuff. The next one I'm gonna do is lace. When I first started knitting, I thought lace is for grannies, but I love lace. It is so fun to knit and it's beautiful. Okay, one of the synonyms that came up for beautiful is as pretty as a picture. What? I love lace. I highly recommend trying to knit a lace pattern. It's so fun. It's so satisfying. The first sweater is the October Day sweater by Masha Ziabilkova. I saw this on Instagram first. Like, it came up on my explore page or something. Beautiful white fluffy thing. This is 2 strands of lace held together on 2.5 and size 8 needles. And I want to make it in white. I want that fluffy sweater. It looks so cozy, but also pretty. Like, you could totally wear this like with a skirt or trousers on a date. And it's $6.50 US. I definitely want to make this. The next one is the Whitmore cardigan by Amy Loden. It's $8.50. It's fingering and lace weight yarn, and it's knit on 3 different needle sizes, 2, 2.5, and 6. I really like the purple version that they made of this, and I love how they like tucked it into their jeans in the picture. I feel like this could be a sweater that could totally be like seen as a granny sweater. No offense to the grannies out there. I love granny fashion, but it could also be like really cool and like contemporary depending on the yarn that you choose. And I feel like that works for a lot of knitting patterns. Like, it really depends on the yarn and the color that you choose. Also, the buttons make a huge difference when you're knitting cardigans. This is so cool. I love that it like comes out like that. The lace work, that is. It's top down. We love a top down pattern. My eyeballs are so tired. Okay, the next one is the Waffle Sweater by Perennial. Lars. This is knitted with lace once again. Lace is expensive, not gonna lie. Lace is hell of expensive. I'm not sure if they have a version of lace that they sell at craft stores, because I've never gone to the craft store to look for lace weight yarn, but I went the other day to my local yarn store and I bought this lace yarn. This is actually a little bit chunkier than regular lace, but this was $30. This is alpaca and silk. And I think lace is so expensive because it usually has silk in it, and silk's expensive. Why is silk expensive? It's expensive because it's made from silkworms, cocoons. This is the waffle sweater pattern. I just think the lace design of this is very cool. I like that they called it a waffle sweater because normally I would think of a waffle pattern as squares, but this almost looks like zigzags with like rows in between the zigzags. I just think it has really cool texture. It's $7.41 US. Okay, next. This is the Augusta sweater by Gregoria Fibers. Oh shit, I already mentioned one by this person. Oh well. This has like an eyelet. I would consider this like, although I'm lumping it in with the lace patterns, I would say this is probably technically eyelet. Size 6 needles, so pretty small. $8.31 US. Can you tell I'm getting tired? And it has these really cool rows. It has like rows of ribbing at the shoulders, which look really cool. The next one is called Magnolia Bloom by Camilla Vad. I think this one's really pretty, and this was one that I was going to knit last year, and then I found something similar, which I'll show you next, that I think I might knit instead, just personal preference. But I do love the baubles on this. I've never tried knitting baubles, but I love them. This is a whole bunch of yarn math done here. We have fingering plus lace equals Aran weight yarn. Size 10 needles, so that's pretty big. That's like a nickel. Or maybe a dime. It's just pretty okay. These are all just pretty okay. That's why I chose them. Oh yeah, okay, so then the one that I do think I want to make that I almost made last winter, and I remember my plan for this last winter when I was going to make this was to make it in red. This is the Chunky Dahlia Solo Sweater. It is about $7.40 US. It's knitted on On Ravelry, it just says yarn held together, but it says it's silk mohair and then another kind of yarn, maybe worsted or Aran weight. I'm not sure. Oh fuck, it's not in English. Never mind. I'm not knitting this. It's not available in English. I guess I'll knit the other one. But this is so beautiful. I feel like I have seen this before in English. Dang. Okay, well, you should knit it and send me a picture so I can live vicariously. What a bummer. I mean, that's not a bummer. Like, I could download it and like Google Translate the whole thing. Should I do a video where I do that? Well, I thought this one was really pretty with like the leaves around the yoke. I think that's, let me look at my synonyms. I think it's just lovely, okay? It's just lovely. The next one, damn it, this is another one by My Favorite Things Knitwear. They just have great patterns, okay? I have not actually knit one, but I'm assuming they're probably written very well. They have a lot of patterns and they have like pretty good reviews, so they're probably great. This is Cardigan Number 6. It's similar actually to the Waffle Sweater. Like, it could be the same lace pattern, I'm not sure, but it does look kind of similar. This looks soft and cozy and fluffy, a little bit granny, which I love, as you know now. And it's a bunch of lace, so it's probably gonna be expensive to make, but it's probably gonna be fun to make because lace is fucking fun. And then the last one in my lace category is the Acacia cardigan by Irene Lynn. This is pretty and I like how slouchy the sleeve area is, at least in that first picture. This is $6.50 US. It's knitted on lace and light fingering weight yarn held together. Size 6 and size 4 needles, so kind of small. But it's just pretty okay. They're all just pretty okay. I don't know what else to say. My last category is another fun one on the same level as lace. It's just fun to do. It's fun to expand your mind and teach it to do these things with yarn to make like beautiful textures. And that category is cables. I love cables. Cables was like one of the first things that I wanted to try. I was like, I want to make a cable. That shit is classic. And I'm going to start with this one because it's free, and although I don't really get the reference, I'm sure plenty of you will. This is called the Handsome Crisp Pullover, and I think it's from the Knives Out movie, or the movie Knives Out, which I only saw like the first 20 minutes of, and then I had to turn it off because my attention span for movies right now is zero. I'll read a book instead. This is by Karen Schaefer. It says skill level intermediate to experienced. This is knitted on worsted weight yarn, which is a great size yarn. Knitted with 5 and 7 needles. And there are plenty of pictures of this. Like, a lot of people have knitted it. I love this picture of this person wearing it with, it looks like so oversized. I want to make this. Like, this is the kind of sweater that you see in a thrift store that's old and itchy, and it's just covered in cables, and they want like $5 for it, but it's like the best sweater. You know what I mean? Have you experienced this at a thrift store? The next one is another sweater that I wanted to make last year, and I will make it this year. It's so pretty. It's called the Favo sweater by Fiber Tales. It's about $8 US, and it's worsted plus lace held together, knitted on size 8 needles. So these are like all my favorite things. I love size 8. It's like the perfect size needle. Last year when I was going to make this, my plan for this sweater was to knit it in the way that the Wednesday sweater that I previously mentioned was knitted, with the base and then the rainbow lace yarn running through it to make like a confetti effect, but I never did it. So I'll probably do it this year. Stay tuned. This just looks like a lot of fun to knit because there's so much going on in the front, and I love sweaters that make me think while I'm knitting them. I also often mess those up, but it's usually so small nobody can tell. I really should have clumped all these sweaters together because I have a final sweater by My Favorite Things Knitwear. This is sweater number 15, and it's straight up cables. It's just straight up twist. This is lace and light fingering weight yarn held together, knitted on size 6 and size 7, and it is like $5-ish. It's oversized and covered in cables. And you know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of those thrift store sweaters, but it's better because you make it yourself. And I love that this one is bright green. But I want one of these in like classic heather gray, so it like goes with everything and I can wear it like all the time. Like it goes with a dress, it goes with pajamas, it goes with jeans. The next one is the Copenhagen sweater by June Thompson. This looks like it might have some lace work in it next to the cable. This is about $7 US, knitted on size 10 and 9 with lace weight yarn. And the pattern on the front with the cables and the lace, it almost makes like a leaf looking pattern. It's kind of a trippy pattern. Like, am I just having vision problems right now, or is it kind of a trippy pattern? And then the next one is called the Diamonds and Pearls sweater by Katja Dierberg from Pop Knit. Oh my god, I love Pop Knit. I love Pop Knit. Her Instagram is epic. Like, go check out Pop Knit on Instagram. Amazing knitwear. This has bubbles, so maybe if I make a sweater with bubbles, it'll be this one because this is dope, and I would love to make a sweater by Pop Knit. Like, her knitwear is amazing. This is $9 US for this pattern. It's lace and fingering weight yarn, and it's knitted on size 2.5, 4, and 6. I love the purple one. Whenever I see these purple sweaters in these pictures, I think to myself, I want to knit a purple sweater. And they're always like this lavender color that I really like, and then I go to the yarn store and I never buy lavender. And then the last one is a vest, actually, but I felt like the cables were more important than the fact that it was actually a vest, so I clumped it together with all the cable shit. Cable knit. This pattern is $7. It's called the White Rock Vest by Natalie V, and it's knit with sport weight yarn on size 6 needles. It looks like a great classic sweater vest. Straight up cables. Like, how much more classic can you get than just straight up cables? I almost think a cable knit sweater vest is more classic than like straight stockinette. Those are the patterns. How many did I find? I cannot count right now, but this is how many I found. Let me know if you're gonna knit any of these. I think I let you know which ones I'm gonna knit, so stay tuned for those videos, because now when I make something, I make a video about it and upload it to this channel. Like this video if you liked the video, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see me search for on Ravelry. I'll search to the ends of the earth. I'll find you that pattern. I'm losing it. Happy knitting. Farewell.